finally, I talked my dad out of making me go to college and playing school so I could sign a contract. The Boston Braves were very interested in me too, and the Brooklyn Dodgers, and they both offered me $6,000, which was a lot of money back in those days, because if you made $6,001, you had to stay in the major leagues. I went to spring training with the Brooklyn Dodgers. They had 25 farm clubs. Nowadays, each major league club has 3 or maybe 4 clubs and a rookie league club. And so they had 10 Class D clubs, and in spring training, every time I would pitch, if I pitched against one Class D league was better than the other, and if this manager liked me, the next day my name might be on his ball club, and which happened, and I went on. In fact, I ended up going to Class B ball, which was a big jump for a 19-year-old kid, to Newport News, Virginia. And Al Campanis was my manager, and I went up there, and I was a wild kid. I had a pretty good arm and stuff. Anyway, he finally sent me to Valdosta, Georgia, where I led the league in wins, losses, strikeouts, base on balls, hits, batsmen. I mean, I did it all. And I was telling Mike LaCrosse, my buddy here, that I was a third base coach when I wasn't pitching. And because our manager was a second baseman, and he asked me to coach third base. He said, when the season starts, you're going to be my third base coach. I said, well, I never coached third base, up, down, playing sandlot baseball. He said, well, I think you'll do a good job. So, well, I want you to get over there, and I'll give you the signs and all this. And I said, okay. So I went, and now that I think back, I think that maybe he saw something in my ability to do something like that. But anyway, the next year I went back to Newport News, and this is a true story. I had a manager that was a ex-major league pitcher. Back in those days, those coaches and managers didn't teach. I don't know if they knew how, or they expected when you come out of high school or college, you should be able to do that. Anyway, I went 9-1 at Newport News, and I made the All-Star team. And after that, I lost about 4 or 5 games in a row, and we were coming back on the ferry from Norfolk to Newport News. We'd play in Norfolk, which is 10 miles across the bay there. And so I went up to the manager, Skip, I said, I'm having problems. He said, yeah, I know what you are. You're having a problem. You got to get better and all that. So I said, well, I'm going to come out the next couple of days, and I want you to come down and help me in the bullpen and see what I'm doing wrong. I ain't going to have time for that, he said. He said, you should be a good Class B pitcher. You're 20 years old, and you should be ready for this league. That really shocked me, and I said, let me tell you something. How about sending me to somewhere, I don't care if I go back to AAA or, A or Class D. I want to go where I can get some help. He said, well, okay, I'll help you a little bit. But anyway, he helped me a little bit, and I had a pretty good year. Then I got drafted, and I went in the Army for 2 years, and being an ex-professional baseball year for 2 years, and a basketball player, stationed Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which is about 50 miles from my home in Durham, and they found out about it in there, and in fact, I was so glad, because this one guy, this sergeant that we had, found out I was a jock. He called me a jock, and he made me do the grease pit every day. Instead of, he used to take time to do it, he made me do it once a week. He made me do it every day, reach down get on your hands and knees like in a manhole and clean out all the grease that comes from the kitchen and all this stuff. And finally, the captain come to me and said, I heard you was a pretty good basketball player. I said, yeah, I was not bad. He said, I want you to come out and work out with the post team. And I said, okay. I figured more I could do this, the less work I'd have to do. So I went and played on the post basketball team and the post baseball team. And on the post baseball team, we had a colonel that was a great baseball fan. So I'm pitching for the post team, and so now this people contact me from the Mills team in North Carolina where they play leagues, and this guy contacted me and said, I want you to come up here and we'll give you $25 a pitch a game, and I said, I can't do that, man. I'm in the Army. And he said, then this one other team offered me 50. And in the meantime, my girlfriend and my same high school sweetheart, we decided to get married, so I went AWOL for 3 days. I went on the barbed wire fence, went out and hitchhiked to Durham, and we got married on Saturday and Sunday. I came back to the Army post. So now we are playing, and I'm winning. I'm really pitching good and all this, and the colonel found out that I was going AWOL to go pitch on this team once a week. So he called me in his office one day. He said, "Private Craig, is this true? I hear about you going AWOL and pitching in semi-pro baseball when you're still on the post team, and we got a chance to go to the all the way." I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I just got married." And he said, "I don't want to care about it. I just got married. I want to, and my wife's pregnant, and I need some extra money." He said, "What's your record now with the post team?" I said, 16-1. He said, "If you lose one more game, I'm going to send you to the brig or to Korea." We had a guy pitching on that team, semi-pro team, that was the captain. This is a true story at Fort Jackson. So one day I was warming up, and we warmed up right close to the stands, and as I walked by him, I saw him sitting there, and he says, "Private Craig." I said, "Yes, sir." And I saluted him, everything. I'm in my baseball uniform. He says, "I know what you're doing." He says, "You're AWOL. Have you got a pass to be here?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "If you ever come back here to pitch against," this was the team that offered me $25, and the other team that I'm playing on offered me $50 pitch a game. So naturally I took the 50. He said, "If you ever come back here to pitch again, you'll be in Korea so fast, you make your head swim." So I was scared to death. So I went back to this colonel, and I told him a true story. He said, "Well, you're still going AWOL, you're doing this," and he said, "Who's that captain you're talking?" I said, "Captain so-and-so." And he said, "Well, you know you're doing wrong. There's nothing I can do about it, so I'll see what I can do." So now, about a week later, we're getting ready to play a championship game up there. And I'd won another couple with the post team. And so I go to him, I said, "Colonel, we're going to play that team." And "I don't want to hear about it. Don't worry about that guy. He's over in Korea." So he sent the captain over there instead of me. So that was one of the highlights of my baseball in the service. And I think I ended up 16-1 and 17-2 in the 2 years I pitched there. And it was really like playing professional baseball, because I had 3 major league catchers, ex-major league catchers: Frank Pig House, Haywood Sullivan, who was a catcher in the Red Sox, and at one time the general manager, and Ed Bailey from Tennessee, caught with the San Francisco Giants. And those are my 3 catchers, my 2 years in the service, and they really helped me. They made me. He said, "Son, you got major league stuff. You're going to pitch in a big league. You got to take care of yourself." And that really gave me a vote of confidence.